So I was in in Peleliu, at Peleliu, and very few people know about it. Peleliu was a closely fought battle. I saw two men die, I guess the first 5 minutes I was on the beach. One was a Marine, and the other one was a Jap. And this Colonel Nagawa, is that right? Colonel Nakagawa.
That's the guy.
Was the Japanese commander. And he had that island fortified and protected right down to the beach with concrete bunkers. And the island wasn't large. It was like a mile wide and 7 miles long. And from that little mountain up there, they could see every move we made. They laid down a lot of mortar fire. And you know what a mortar is. I feared those things because the shell comes down straight. Once fired at an angle, it goes into the air and then falls down straight. And there's no hiding from that. You can't get in a hole. It comes down. And Brown was hit on the back, William Brown. He was a corporal. And it blew and separated his body and blew his arm up on the beach ahead of me. And Sergeant Tatum buried his arm on that beach. I had a buddy, well, I can't think of his name now, but he went with me all the way, and he survived it.
Yeah.
Delmer Swanee, okay. And even though he passed away, I went ahead and paid the fee and had his name put down here on the wall.
Wonderful.
And so far as I know, I've got one buddy left, and he lives in Franklin County. And if there's any other survivors here in around the area, I'd like to hear from them. I'm talking about a Peleliu survivor.
Okay. Peleliu, the Battle of Peleliu.
But it wasn't talked about too much because they told us it would take like 2 days, but instead it took like 2 months. And we lost like 70% casualties in the 1st Marine Regiment.
In this letter that you received from the photographer, he says, "Yes, I was the photographer who took the photo of which you sent a copy, and I was delighted that you could identify 3 of the men. This photo, which was named one of the 10 best photographs of World War II, and for which I received the Edward Steichen Award, has been displayed a great deal over the years." And John Smith, war correspondent, Peleliu, and the date of the photo, September 15th, 1944.
That picture is on the internet. If you Google Pacific battles,
Okay.
it's one of the first 3 or 4 pictures that will come up. And you can see Ed, if you look to the left of the center and go back 3 foxholes,
Okay.
he's the guy looking toward the ocean.
You went on the honor flight. You got to go on the honor flight.
Yes, I was. I had fun on that. I had a lot of fun on that because the stewardess were pretty young ladies.
Okay, Ed.
I have pictures of that, and they are sitting in my lap with their arms around me.
Well, all right then.
But we really had a lot of fun on that trip to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
We did.
Thank you for taking the time to come in and share your experience with us.
Colonel Chesty Puller was in a Sherman tank. Now, tanks are heavy, and I never knew how they got a tank up there and got that on there because we had a reef around Peleliu. And if anybody out there knows anything about how they got that tank up there, I'd like to know.
So there was one tank on that small island.
One tank, and it was put there for Chesty Puller.
Okay.
He was the colonel. A mortar round, as soon as he got in and got in that tank, a mortar round hit right on top of that tank. He just barely made it in.
Well, that's something that you would not hear about every day. So thank you for sharing that with us.